Are you seeing dragons? If you are, you have come to the right place to find out what's going on with all of that. This is MandaLynn back here at the landing for as long as we can because things are getting ready to change drastically here. And if you see me looking around, I'm keeping an eye out. We already know there's snakes back here and all kinds of other critters. Welcome if you're new. If you're returning, thank you for supporting me and for sharing. And as I said, this is the place to find out what's going on. Really quick, first, a message that I got yesterday. Uh, I live under the same roof with people that really don't comprehend or know my core beliefs, what makes me tick, so to say, what my purpose is. And how could somebody live under the same roof with you and not know these things when you're the way that I am? Well, it's because they're not ready. And when I had that realization, it took some of the pressure off of me. Very activated today, riding this full moon eclipse energy and lunar return and a partridge in a pear tree. So that was important to say. Another thing, so the full moon eclipse was about the feminine or maternal energies. The solar eclipse that's coming is going to be about the masculine energies. So keep that in mind. There are a lot of, probably over lifetimes, a lot of the male-female dynamic that you may have experienced coming up. You may be having flashes of a past life or a past experience, and address it because you're having this realization. How did it make you feel? Number one, did it make you feel sad, scared? That's a note. And what do you bring forward from that? In other words, what do you see that could be influenced or changed by that experience? Either doing it differently, doing it the same, understanding it, and being comfortable in it. There's a lot to be said for that too. What's going on with the dragons, right? All right, guys, I'm going out on a limb here. I've stayed away from this because, let's be honest, people have a view and a theory almost completely opposite of what I have experienced. I experienced two friends last night that were having the white dragon visions or dreams, and more like the snake-like dragon than the ones that you hear about in like King Arthur and everything and Merlin. So understand the reference here. Why is this happening? Let me give you a little of the background story. So everybody talks about the Draco, the white Nordics. You have to understand, I forget what the percentage is because that's not important to me. The numbers aren't important to me on that. But there is a certain amount of reptilian DNA in the human species. That is because, if you think about it, why do people fear the Draco species? They're strong, the longevity, they're very smart, their higher vibrational aspect is what they embody. They're some of the first of creation. So like the base, the prima materia for building, okay, a being in the physical. So understand that that was a good DNA to put in because it was a blend. And I'm not going to go into the creation stories right now. That'll be for another time. So understand that this is in our DNA for a reason. Over the years, fear has been instilled. So if you look at this, this fear has been instilled and people don't understand the truth. Okay, white Nordics are a hybrid of the white Draco species. Why did the white Draco leave their planet? So just like on Earth, only this was a planetary system, they were capable of space travel, so to say. That's not what they called it. But on one of them was this species that they were highly intelligent, some of the first. And you can think of it like the yin and the yang as far as how their society and their cultures developed. What they call the White Draco faction was they were peaceful. They honored their planet in everything that they did. And they followed the maternal bloodline. So when all of the resources were being expended on these other planets, they came to this planet. Greed set in, and this planet was ravaged also. So the royal family, which of course the queen ruled, they decided that they were going to fight it. But with all of the other clans or tribes that were united, because this was the last resource that they had readily available, was on this planet. Ravish it too, right? So when they fled, okay, uh, because they had to, or it was be killed, they did receive help from another race, and I'm not going to bring that into it right now. One that is active in our ascension. And one of my past lives was experiencing that escape, but experiencing death ultimately. So, yes, this DNA, when man was created, uh, it was in there, and they decided to allow the humans to have a consciousness instead of being an automaton. So, there's a whole story there, too. This is the time that you could either participate, in other words, incarnate into humanity, or you could be an observer. And you could experience it from both sides, but those were your choices. If you were one of those original that incarnated into the earth plane, many of us came as an elemental first. So imagine being an energy and just being part of the air, that sort of thing. It's coming up because there's a Native American story about the dream about the black wolf and the white wolf. So which one are you going to feed more? And that was the nature of it. And you can think of it like that because you have, if you have this DNA in you, instead of saying, oh, I don't have reptilian DNA, I do. So which side are you going to nurture? And even if you don't look at it along that lines, this is a time, this is a moment in the process when you have to be careful what you nurture, because you might think you're nurturing something good and be giving energy to a byproduct that you really don't want. So past lives are important right now. It's not so much about releasing karma. It's about understanding the next leg of your journey. What are you going to have? What have you mastered? What can you look at and you just need to get one little thing and you're moving on to the next frequency. And when I say mastered, I mean mastered in the frequency that you are leaving have left. So it's very important to know what little things you need to balance, what little things you need to nurture, um, and and accepting who we are. Authenticity begins with being honest to self and true to self. And it's no mistake that this is coming up now because this shift is so monumental. Many of us, if we've started digging deep, we know our past lives or some of them, and we realize that this isn't the first time we've been through something like this. It's the first time in these energies, in these situations, because it's all about evolution, expansion. Call on your guides. Again, you may be getting new, different guides. And just really, really savor every single moment. This is a holiday weekend where we're at. I almost had a stroke when I had to go out to the store. But this is a holiday weekend where we're at. If you are out and about, be safe, share the love, but know when you're sharing too much and feel it here. Whoops, let me back up some more. Feel it from here. Feel it from here. Um, and just do a lot of meditation, a lot of grounding, drink a lot of water. If you're feeling heavy, stuck in the mud, drink water. Okay, that's it. So I will try to get back to you this weekend as things come through. If not, look for me by Tuesday. I'll try to have something up. Something seems to be coming through regular now. And just receive the love, not just that I'm sending, but that Gaia is kicking in, the elements, all of creation is kicking in, saying you are blessed, you are loved, and you are whole. And you may experience that at any moment.